Hello, welcome back to Broken Arrows. The big update finally came. Not really a big update, but it's supposed to fix some of the issues with cheating, matchmaking, instability, elo differences, ping differences, and some other stuff. So let's see if it works. So as you can see, it's 1.0.8. By the way, there's apparently a lot of drama surrounding the game with the ban on some Chinese team that played against one of the streamers for Broken Arrows. I don't know. For Broken Arrows, how should I put it? Influencers, because well, this is not really something people know or think about, but usually every game or so has a few streamers or influencers that are kind of indirectly paid for kind of act in behalf of the game or something like that, so they have a lot of influence with the developers and stuff. That was actually quite a funny episode. I don't know too much about the details, but yeah. Okay, we have what? Why? Well, I guess it's not as balanced as it could be. Maybe it's not that bad, but usually you don't want to fight. Okay, let's remember how to play. I haven't played in a while. I guess the teams are more or less balanced, but if you have two very high level players, they can... It depends on how they play, let's see. Also, we cannot see their elos, we can only see their levels. By the way, elo is a stupid thing, and I think most people would agree. Some games like Age of Empires have the same problem where team-based players have much higher elos just because they mostly play in a team, while people like me will have mostly a lower elo just because they play with randoms. Is this new? I don't remember seeing this loading image. Ah boy, yes. I wish we could see their elo in the beginning. I don't know why they hide the enemy elo. I don't know how to play this game anymore. I think the issue was that you get so discouraged by cheaters that you don't really progress in your tactics, you don't really learn new tactics and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm a bit behind the difficulty curve and of course the strategy curve. Oh goody, the airport map. I'm beginning to really hate this map. They can go into a BTR robot there. We'll also be the first ones to arrive, and then we also need some e-glass. I also need a helicopter just to persuade the people that are there to go away. I'm not going to use air defenses right now because we might get attacked by 10 American jets, but it's okay. If that happens, we'll get a very very fast door out. Otherwise, I'm just waiting to use my Su-30 SM. I don't understand. Oh wait, what do you mean 44? I guess that's the total game time now. I hope they just show the total game time all the time. I hope they just reduce every game by 15 minutes, because 45 minutes for a game is too long in my opinion. Things will be decided in the first 20 minutes anyway. And phase 3 is just a stupid cheese tactic where you can see what you're pushing. Yeah, exactly as I thought. Apparently, this is the new tactic where they just swarm with airplanes. Okay, let's see what the door can catch. Aha, they destroyed the Eagle as well. Meh, I guess it's a tactic. I cannot be too upset about that. Anyway, that was kind of like what I was expecting, because I read on the forums that a lot of American players are just team-based players who all use jets in the first part of the game. What? Come on, this pallet is... Okay. Bombing run. Also they decreased the cooldown of the sprint, so now you can use it every 40 seconds, which is a huge improvement. Yeah, I don't think we can reach the other place very fast. You bring the alligator and of course another door. Wow. Yeah, there's no chance for getting this back. I guess it's a tactic, what can I say? And I think this is how most American teams are playing these days, and it's kind of sad because this is a cheese tactic. It's not really designed to win anything. You see, they use the same tactic as always. They just attack with a lot of aircrafts and then they send some cheap tanks. And the tanks that come attack are usually the ones with smoke. And of course, look at this. Also, it's a bigger problem. I think the bigger problem is the way that teams play when they're randoms. How can they let a single player control 50% of the map? So basically, I am in control of 50% of the map, which I'll never be able to do. Let's bring 2 Terminators over here. We should be able to deal with most of this infantry. I don't think you know what you're... No, I only have 1 Eagle. Well, I guess just have to try and attack them. Like I said, I'm a little rusty, so this attack would not have been a problem because my deck is specifically designed to counter threats like this. I guess I'm a little rusty. I should have had my supplies ready over here anyway, and when that other helicopter came, I should have retreated my alligator to a supply pile, but since I didn't have a supply pile, it wouldn't have mattered anyway. It's a cool game. I hope the developers work on it a lot more because they shouldn't have left it in this state. Yeah, I don't know why players do this. I mean, if you look at how much I have to control of the map, that's actually more like 70% of the map. And I cannot control the central area alone. Again, they might think, oh, this guy's a genius. Yeah, he'll be able to do it. Okay, and I have to summon these little thingies over here.
Спецгруппа ждет ваших указаний. Тяжелый транспорт здесь. Выгружаю. Выдвигаюсь. Ракетные сани на рельсах. Кого надо поддержать
Okay,
огнем?
let's watch over here, but I don't think we can destroy this stuff. There is probably too much
Запускай
stuff.
машину. Сами не летаем и другим не даем. Пути. Работаем.
Terminators are specifically designed to counter infantry.
Поехали. Тактический грузовик готов к перевозке.
Yes, that's exactly what I was expecting. Okay.
Миссия окончена. Возвращаемся в депо.
That's also what I was
Транспорт
expecting.
ждет приказа.
And I thought I had snipers in this VDV. Oh. Why not? I don't get it. Why doesn't it let me pick the transport that I want? Oh, because I was choosing that option and I should have been choosing this option. Okay. We'll need more spetsnaz.
Готово прикрыть танки. Зенитчики, слушаю.
My chrysanthemas are in place, my scouting is in place.
Приказ понял. Едем.
Battleship, are you joking me?
Уже в пути.
Battleships.
Покажите мне пехоту. Я покажу, что я там не. Погнали. Выполняю.
There's nothing I can do. This is basically a waste of time in my opinion, the way the developers imagined this game's going.
Принял.
I just don't have any help on the map and it's... Yeah, it's borderline impossible to do anything over here. I guess the only thing I can really do is just set up defensive positions all over the place.
Выдвигаемся. Армейская авиация слушает. Атакую противника.
I want to show the killer eggs.
Вертушки здесь. Вертикальная на связи.
Then retreat, at least we can hold the point a little bit.
Координаты атаки получены. Заводи мотор.
So I don't understand how these helicopters move sometimes. As you can see, they are very, very annoying.
Координаты принял, выдвигаю. Вертушки на приеме. Атакую цель.
They don't attack the targets they're supposed to attack, and they always move in
Получено.
direct line to the enemy that you press the attack button, which is weird. Why would they do that?
Приказ понял, выезжаем. Уже еду. Армейская авиация слушает. Пехот, на дорогу!
Nothing I can do. There is literally nothing I can do since I have all artillery against me and no one is helping me.
Куда вас доставить? Выдвигаемся.
Again, is why I made this deck, because it's so stupid. It's a stupid deck that can do a lot of stuff. I guess they destroyed my Thor at some point, obviously. Ah, that's okay, we have another one.
Пути.
Again, this is what my deck is supposed to do, just annoy the enemies and give them the impression they can defeat me, but they have to spend too many resources to do anything to me. And I think I have units over here because this is how usually people play, but I don't have anything there.
Транспорт здесь.
While my main attack force will actually go for this point, while this player is doing absolutely nothing. Yeah, there is a big problem with the matchmaking. I don't think they should allow pre-made teams to... It's the same thing everywhere in every multiplayer game, in Tarkov, in any other game. They should never allow pre-made teams to play with randoms, because that's always a recipe for disaster. Obviously it was destroyed.
ПВО, докладываю. Приказ понял. Едем. Уже еду. Пути. Транспорт здесь. Беттер здесь. Разгружаемся. Разведка здесь. Ведем бой. Беттер слушай, мы нам бьют.
A waste of time, by the way, as well.
Транспорт на поле боя.
Because they'll just do this. It's literally a game that I'm stuck playing and there's nothing I can do. And this is why the developers need to work more on the game, because this is stupid and it should never be something that happens in the game, in my opinion, because you have no way of retaliating against something like this. And as you can see, most people playing the game will just use a big attack wave instead of just sending their units one by one. That's an area we can definitely conquer if we want. Back there, and now I'm just waiting for a helicopter.
Пехота на связи. Какие ваши указания?
Yeah, not a good first game. I think the game will probably die out in a few months. I don't think the game has any chance of success if developers don't fix more of the issues, or most of the issues.
Покажите мне пехоту. И я
The Terminator is on here to cap. The alligator is back online. Yeah, they're just so slow. Some people are just too slow to set up. They want a defensive line. They want to reinforce something that is already too reinforced. Too many units on this point and nothing on here. Why don't they attack this point if they have so much stuff over there? That's defended by mostly artillery. The helicopter has to be put in. Yeah, I guess they. This is the problem with artillery in a way. It's kind of. No support, I guess. Get out of there, get out of there. I have to play a very defensive game, which I don't really like, while having very in-depth defense and a lot more supply points. Yeah, I guess about it. Oh, I guess we need the Armata. Okay, we let them fire 2 more times and then they retreat.
приказывали?
Guys will be put there.
Громко и четко.
I didn't get an armata.
Перехват, на дорогу! Да, командир.
Okay, we lost phase 1, barely.
Армейская авиация слушает.
Противовоздушная оборона. На прием. Принял. Выдвигаемся.
There are too many tanks for me to do anything, which is a real issue.
Летим.
Тяжелый транспорт здесь.
Выдвигаемся.
It's actually sometimes a little better to just use one helicopter at a time.
Даем ходу. Летим. Установлен новый маршрут полета.
We can't, we need more. This guy is not pushing at all, and it's annoying because he's just sitting on the point. I think this is something new players should do. You're going to lose the units anyway, so don't bother in trying to preserve them forever.
Траектория полета обновлена. Новая точка получена.
Запускай машину. Понял.
Вылетел к цели.
Okay.
Координаты принял, выдвигаюсь.
ПВО, слушай.
I understand what they're doing, and I don't like it.
Камов слушает. Камов на связи. Летим туда.
Понял.
Also, no targets for my artillery since I cannot see anything.
Готов сотрясать землю. Готов. Говори, куда накрыть. Никто не выживет.
Армейская авиация слушает.
Армада готова к работе.
Okay. So the plan is, there is no plan and I'm just making it up as I go. So my helicopters are ready to attack, will attack this area. I know where my Thors are.
Заводи мотор.
All is moving. Yeah, I hate when that happens, and that's why I have these guys over here.
Аллигатор на связи.
So
Даем
they have.
ходу.
Okay, so as you can see, my allies are basically non-existent in this game because they just go for massive kamikaze attacks, which end as all kamikaze attacks end.
Да, командир.
Летим туда.
Сделаю.
Whatever was there is either dead or not combat able.
Летим. Выдвигаемся на новую позицию.
Выдвигаемся. Работаем. Армада на связи.
Захожу на цель.
The control is online.
Противовоздушная оборона. Докладываю. Выдвигаемся. Выполняю.
Новая точка получена.
Прикроем тяжеловес.
Траектория полета обновлена. Применяю оружие.
Кого нас поддержать огнем?
Аллигатор на связи. Координаты принял, выдвигаюсь.
Yeah, just nothing to shoot
Даем
at.
ходу.
The biggest problem. A big supply stash over here and another
Приказ понял. Выезжай.
supply stash over there, even though that's probably the worst position to put that.
Двигаюсь к точке.
I have no choice over here. I basically have nothing I can do. I just have to keep reinforcing my anti-air options.
Приказ понял. Едем.
Hope for the best.
Сделаю. Координаты.
How accurate these things are? Probably zero accuracy.
Прикроем наши танки. Коля понял. Погнали.
Just as good as I imagine. Now, the only thing I'm using the Terminator mostly is to kill infantry and bait vehicles to come and attack me, so I can use my helicopters to destroy them.
Готов сотрясать Принял.
Yeah, there's nothing I can do. They have too many players over here.
Установлен новый маршрут полета. Камов слушает.
And I'm just one.
Баба с воздухом.
Or I guess two in this case.
ПВО, докладываю. Сами не летаем и другим не даем.
Okay. Kind of like what my doors are doing.
Ну вот и все. Домой. Принял. Армата готова.
I just don't see an attack angle. I guess if they're doing that, I can do this.
Вперед. Поддай газку. Дорога наш дом.
There's too much artillery that goes uncontested because no one can do anything against it. Okay, these guys are just reloading.
Камов на связи.
ПВО на связи. Уже еду.
They're just getting so much vision with those stupid helicopters.
Армейская авиация слушает.
Коробочка на приеме.
Камов слушает.
Just have to attack, even though nothing good will come out of it. Yeah, this is a tactical mistake what I'm doing over here, but I'm bored. I want to do something.
Кому нужны припасы?
Аллигатор на связи. Летим.
Коробочка. Накрыть площадь.
Координаты принял. Вылетел к цели.
Nothing I can do because they're just all over the place and I'm alone.
Прием. 90, слушай. Мы под огнем. Штурман. Выходим на дорогу. На максимальных оборотах.
Man, these qualities are so useless. What happened to the artillery in this game? I remember a time where artillery was actually doing something. I guess I need to switch them to thrusters, otherwise they don't do any damage and I don't understand this.
Принял.
Unless they score direct hits, they seem to be useless. I guess it's time for a small infantry assault.
Приказ понял. Выезжаем.
Yeah, robot.
Принял. Выдвигаемся. Двигаюсь к точке. С кого броню снять?
Just some things and was in the middle, it'll be fine. This is what they usually do, they just
Заводи мотор.
bump your defenses with... What are they doing that short at?
Камов на связи.
Ну-ка, с кого сбить броню?
With active protection tanks and then there's nothing you can do.
Логистика готова. Да, командир. Работаю.
Hey? They just activate the smoke in the...
Строим тяжеловес.
I don't understand this game, it's too easy
С
to
кого снять броню?
abuse the game in my opinion. With smoke in the final moment,
Противотанковая машина здесь.
of how they abuse line of sight. I mean, these guys haven't fired even once, which is hilarious in my opinion.
Арту вызывали. Понял, принял.
Новая точка получена.
Well, I'll attempt to push, but we know how it's going to end. It's going to end with
Приказ понял.
a massive assault of
Координаты.
tanks or artillery. I mean, yeah, these are not bad players, but at the same time, they're just abusing some mechanics that the developers don't know how to counter. Because the game is 100% balanced, no question about that, but if you just have randoms versus a pre-made team, you can do.
Армейская авиация слушает.
Выполняю!
At least he took those 2 points. So this guy basically gave up on this area completely, which is a big mistake because now they can focus on a single point.
Боевая машина десанта, слушаю. Куда вас доставить?
I'm not losing every unit I have, which is weird. I should have lost everything by now.
Туры на связи. Выдвигаемся. Туры на приеме.
Okay, let's spread them out.
Туры на позиции. Транспорт здесь. Погнали.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
БМД тут. Транспорт заказывали? Сбросить лишнее. Потопали. Транспорт здесь, мы в бою. Ударю громко. Транспорт на связи. Очистить тревогу. Транспорт ждет приказа. Транспорт, слушаю. Двигаюсь к точке.
Everything was smashed.
Подвесники. Подвес, слушай, заровню. Выдвигаемся.
That's kind of a big mistake they did. I don't know what they're thinking.
Вертикальная на связи.
Also, see, they have no air support or anti-air.
Даем ходу. Координаты атаки получены. Летим туда.
You know what? Just destroy that shore out. I don't care. This is almost impossible to deal with because they just release the smoke at the final moments. The baby helicopter attack here. There's nothing I can do if the teammates don't help.
Команда газы. Сначала граната, потом ты. Да. Готовься к веселью.
Plus, I haven't lost my artillery.
Ноги в руки.
Sorry guys, your tank pushes will not be that successful anymore.
С кого сбить броню? Уже в
Many chrysanthemas. I also like to put a lot of supply trucks in the open like this because it's just, what, 20 supply I lose and the enemy will lose a lot more just by destroying it with artillery.
Давай прокатимся. Мы переезжаем.
How close do they have to go? And they,
Сделаю. Готов.
it's a juicy target, I guess.
Направляемся в зону. Подходим к указанному квадрату.
I don't think it will succeed, but let's look at it.
Бомбы выбрать, главное проверить.
Yeah. No chance for this bombing run, it's too deep into enemy territory. But, maybe.
Очень удачи вам внизу.
Okay, I take that back, that was perfectly executed.
Задача выполнена. Возврат гидравлика полетела.
Говори,
Катапультируюсь.
куда накрыть.
That would be the thumbnail. Oh, why did that work? I guess they were just not paying attention to what was happening. Or they're not paying a lot of attention.
Понял. Грузовик снабжения готов.
Guess the cheese tactics actually worked to a certain amount.
Твоя машина, слушай. Голубые береты на связи. Поехали.
a certain extent, I mean. Okay, now we can just... The helicopters, they have ammo. Okay, I lost the door at some point. And I also never really got to use the salt centric. Let's just let them assault this position. It's actually surprisingly cheap units over here. You can also summon more cornets. Call in more cornets. They'll just have to push through the artillery now, which is great. But yeah, I have nothing else I can do. Alligator. I think we're out of ammo completely now. Oh, it's using its guns. That's bad. This is a problem with the helicopters. Why do they need to basically go in front of the tank? Fine, go away. I guess I can just make another infantry push, but it will probably be the last of the game. Now it's Spetsnaz in there as well. Somehow we're actually pulling back into the game, even though we'll not win. At least we did a lot of damage to them. Yeah, this is so stupid. Just don't do this. If you're watching this, don't do this. Just make a huge supply line, defense line, and then summon units when you need them, not summon everything at once. I mean, I'm doing the same thing more or less, but I have air defenses, artillery, and other stuff over here as well. And just make sure you have enough supplies everywhere, anywhere. Just make a few. Yeah, I'll just make more targets on the airway over here. That's why the Solzenpek is over here, the TOS 1A Solzenpek. I don't know, I like to say its full name. It's a cool vehicle. A bit too deadly for modern battlefields, but eh. So everything is leaving that general area. I guess I can go and take point C, but this is a lost game anyway. I guess they're using the same tactic. So they have only half ammo. Yeah, one of the enemy players left and one of the ally. Yeah, it's the same stuff, so I don't think I'll play the game for long. The game has the same issues over and over, and the developers are just refusing to acknowledge them.
Кому нужны припасы?
And one of the doors over there. Yeah, people leave. They said they'll address this at some point, but what can they address in this case?
Кручу им видимость. Арту вызывали.
Yeah, they strip off my artillery units.
Противовоздушная оборона здесь.
Kind of expecting that, that's why I had the doors.
БТР на связи. Это пехота. Куда вас довести?
Those guys are not going anywhere.
БТР на связи. Быстрее давай. Двигаюсь к точке. Второго сбили. Прыгаем. Очистить тревогу. Заводи мотор.
Guess I just have to wait for another daring round.
Огнеметный расчет здесь. Работаю. Пехота.
So where are the units from this part? Yeah, this is also a stupid tactic that I hate so much lately. You should be able to see any unit that is in the direct vicinity.
Перемещаемся. Атакуем.
And you don't ever see the units in the direct vicinity.
Изменю позицию, там не конец.
But maybe this will change with the infantry being more mobile.
Разведгруппа.
Whatever, this is a stupid game and kind of reflects the problem with the current gameplay. You just have players that don't want to learn more stuff like attacking on multiple angles, like controlling more of the map.
Это пехота. Мы в огневом контакте с противником.
Go there.
Поршнями.
Okay, too. Is there any point in getting the tanks? By the time they arrive here, they'll have not much to...
Запускай машину. На максимальных оборотах. Понеслась.
No, I actually conquered those points, so it's temporary.
Принял. Выдвигаемся. Заводи мотор. Уже
Yeah, we know where the enemy is, we know what the enemy is doing, but we cannot do anything against it.
двигаюсь к точке. Пути.
What? Did it? Is that only the pilot or are there multiple combatants?
Танки грязи не боятся. Поехали, потом заведешь. Быстрее!
Just slowly destroying all of the stuff I put over here, since there's nothing else to do.
Долг честь от флага. Даем ходу. Пошли, пошли, пошли.
Yeah, I don't think this deck is missing anything. Is the problem is the team members who rarely do anything. I mean, they reinforce this side too much, but they can just move some stuff over here.
Траектория полета обновлена.
Да, командир. Пехота ждет указаний. Принял.
These coordinates are actually pretty good.
С кого броню снять? Армада готова работать.
Yeah, they have too much scouting, and they're just trying to use airdrop troops a lot over there.
Гамов слушает. Летим. Вылетел к цели.
Did someone leave?
Новая точка
Yeah.
получена. Вылетел к цели. Камов на связи.
These are not my helicopters. I guess the player that left had them and... What a joke of a game. So the developers have the perfect game with the perfect balance, and they just cannot get to the last part of the game to fix it. They're so close to making a perfect game in my opinion, but they're just messing it up completely sometimes.
Да, командир. Педаль в пол. Понеслась.
Армейская авиация слушает.
The catch-ons are good, but they're just too slow to set up.
Вертушки на
And
приеме.
there's nothing I can do. I just
Координаты
hate
принял.
these final moments of a game. And there's literally nothing you can do. Yeah, can the developer explain to me why Phase 3 exists? Because as you can see, Phase 3 does absolutely nothing for the game. Come on, Arwan, at least destroy that Humvee. That will be your greatest achievement. Look at all of the guns it has. Great.
На марше. До максимальных оборотов. Штурман, выходим на дорогу.
Let's send some planes.
Танки грязи не боятся. Это пехота. Так точно, заходит.
But at least with this update, they made infantry a lot more usable because they can storm a location and then they can escape the location as well if they need.
Шустрее! Аллигатор на связи.
Oh,
Дайте курс на ближайшую цель.
well, you almost did something.
Возвращаемся на аэродром. Предельная тяга.
Yeah, such a stupid.
Армейская авиация слушает.
Приказ понял, едем. Приказ понял.
Come on, I'm telling you, you're just on the edge.
Заводи мотор.
Yeah, I don't think I'll play this game until the developers manage to fix some stuff. Woohoo, nuclear option. Game seems to have a lot of stuff that needs to be fixed. Especially the way the game is approached and the developers matchmaking, and I don't think the balance of the game itself is bad. They just need to balance stuff that is not related to the gameplay itself.
Камов на приеме. Летим.
Let's use a super expensive helicopter to destroy a pilot. Total defeat, of course it was a total defeat, and this is how people are just straight up losing elo every time they're playing a game. So the Tor of course destroyed a lot of stuff, really paid for itself. Spetnaz was really not that good. I could have used this a lot better, of course. P90, the Rangers, Mata. This is a Brutus. It's artillery. How did it? I don't know how it got destroyed by the BMD-2M. Yeah, that was not bad. My artillery didn't do much, but it destroyed a few HIMARS and Thunderbolts, which is great. So they basically paid for themselves, but I couldn't really use them since I had no vision, no defensive line, no nothing. Yeah, I guess this didn't destroy as many as I thought. They're just CRAMs over there and pivot. So yeah, I guess yeah, the Americans have a little bit of problem, not with the balance itself, but with the way the players are playing the game. They're insisting so much on heavy air support to the point where there's nothing you can do against them if the other players are not contributing to that. Also didn't manage to destroy much of their tanks, their Abrams M3. A3 or even A2, we didn't destroy that many. Sure, Ed. Well, I guess we did destroy some of their A2s. But they just keep them in a big puddle of units, and there's nothing we can do about that. Very disappointed with the gameplay. I thought the update would fix some issues, but as you can see, people are still leaving, people are still getting disconnected. There's still a huge problem with matchmaking, with people that are playing pre-made teams versus randoms, and randoms have no idea of how to play the game. I guess that's cool to a certain extent. They can react and play very well, but if the opposing team just has, let's say, 3 or 4 players that do the same thing and just abuse air power or some other mechanics, it's like you are powerless to do anything. Especially when you are given basically 70% of the map to control. Anyway, see you next time. Bye bye.